anymore, but Khalid is also pretty annoying. I doubt they're gonna invade. Suyo actually doesn't have too bad a level 1 with that Soul Sever. But now, we'll jump into the land of Dawn to witness the very first game between Alter Ego on the blue side versus RSG Singapore on the red.
Of course, that's basically spawning out where Gabe started. As with the purple buff, it's going to be a parallel jungling as Yon was on the orange buff side, pathing towards the gold lane. Of course, if you are the Suyo, you're going to be a bit faster and you get your whole kit a level earlier than the alpha, something that most junglers would try to exploit on that Suyo. And not to mention that Dreams and Roundel are just keeping RSG Singapore pressured at every single turn. Gear is forced away. No level 2 means no sustain with the quick stun guard, so Little Wanderer for AE.
That's already pretty good here. Alter Ego is playing a very honest matchup, and Gear already forced to use Flicker. Still not gonna save him from Gebe on this Suyo. First blood for Alter Ego.
Speaking about off-tempo play, Gebe not done yet. So there's a second Flicker out. Sign from Yunski. That's going to make life tough for CS. That Crab is going to be secured by Gebe. Not sure if this Harif is going to receive help anytime soon with the current circumstances.
Yeah, Harif is going to be completely fine though. Like, RSG Singapore can definitely just leave CS in the gold lane because, again, Harif is a totally winning matchup against the Claude. They don't have to worry too much about that. So putting a bit more focus towards the EXP lane to unlock closer and get him to be more part of more team fights is way more value.
Gonna try and burst down Dreams. That's Flicker Sacred Hammer. Dreams does get away. It's a good attempt. Unfortunately, RSG Singapore not only don't get the kill, but once more they see Gebe on the map. It's all about the turtle. Big combo. Yon is gone. And unfortunately, this fight is pretty much done though. They get the taunt onto Rondell, but Closer cannot finish it off. Gear getting chased down. Nino cleaves him in half for a double kill. And Alter Ego assumes control of the objective.
Very clear example of Yon just forgetting to watch his back there. RSG Singapore was trying to distract Alter Ego's front line as well as the Suyo to try and keep him away from the turtle, but then just comes in from the back, takes off the low HP alpha, and they can no longer contest turtle at that point, right? So RSG has to be a bit more careful about their positioning there, because with a Hilda to worry about, Alter Ego has ways of messing with angles and taking advantage of an overly committed front-to-back positioning.
Oh yes, and you can see Nino, he's going to start proxying the wave. In fact, he's a level ahead of Closer. When I think about it, I mean, RSG Singapore, they have multiple means of engage. They have Gear and Closer, but they're significantly behind. And in this case, against Alter Ego, Gear is dead. He's just gonna get controlled to oblivion. Dreams once more will escape.
If they had at least traded for Dreams there, it still would have been okay for RSG, but he was able to get that Sacred Hammer out right after the freeze wore off, so the Zaman Force was just not able to chase anymore. We can see that Alter Ego already operating on a faster momentum overall than RSG.
Trying to look for Nino. Get that shield from the bush. Nino is gonna go back and forth in and out the bush. Eventually will fall. Blazing Duet. Yunski, he lost most of his health. Alter Ego continues to put on the pressure. And with Yunski stuck bot side, that mid lane control is gone.
I like the decision from Alter Ego, right? Nino already knows that he's not going to be able to escape alive, so just buy time, keep them up top, pass the information to your team, so that Alter Ego can try to dive the tower down bottom to give Highs as much of the gold shield as possible. This already turns the gold lane around when CS should absolutely be out-farming the Claude.
Another Sacred Hammer implosion. Gear is gone once more. AOG misses Dreams. Is just getting away every single time.
Really good positioning. I'm liking the coordination coming out of Alter Ego right now. Very quick, very surgical strikes coming in. Pick off one person, immediately back off. Don't mind using resources to do so. Make sure it happens safely.
I'm surprised that RSG wanted to stick around for that, because now they will lose 2 more members. Turtle, of course, secured by Alter Ego, a 2.4k gold advantage, and building In RSG Singapore, they are just locked out of their lane. Look at, I mean, CS can't even walk past his own tier 2.
And we were a little bit worried about this when it came to RSG Singapore. They definitely haven't been performing quite as well as they were known for in the past. And we can see that Alter Ego is just outperforming them on basically every single front. It is a 3K gold lead now, 5 minutes in. I think RSG have already lost a lot of the early game potential that they could have played for with Yon and Gear. Now they gotta try and scale for mid game by setting up as much funnel into CS as possible.
Interesting thing about these two regions is that I know a lot of people look at MPS Singapore as a region that is very focused on the basics, fundamentals, the macro, but when you look at Indonesia, if they want to fight you, they will fight you. That's something that RSG Singapore has been struggling so far. It's just these skirmishes, they are getting outclassed by Alter Ego.
You can see the gold difference really starting to build up here. Yunsky still hasn't been able to complete their first item yet. Gear as well, just sitting on that Dreadnought armor. Looks like Yon going for the War Axe build here to try and prolong the team fight. Should be quite effective against heroes like the Hilda, but Alter Ego is going in and out so quickly that he's not really able to take advantage of it.
If you get bursted, then before the War Axe stacks come online, it also becomes quite an issue. At least they keep this mid tier 1 alive, and it's not the easiest for Alter Ego to siege before Highs kind of gets the Holy Trinity. Oh, that's gonna be a complete miss with the Raging Sandstorm. Even committing the flicker for that.
Yep. I think that was just a little bit too desperate. Even if the flicker had landed, the rest of RSG was just not close enough to actually follow up on it. Then Heist could have just BMI'd out anyway. There was no reason for him to extend that far and waste the battle spell. And see that Geve is just continuing to farm up the top lane as well on this Suyo. He is snowballing really, really hard. He hasn't really even needed to be part of the last couple team fights.
Even then, there's still the Purify on the Claude that he never had the need to use even up to this point. Top tier 2 goes down. Yon is, he's definitely sleeping on the wheel with that one. Gets taken down. Gebe gone on. Raging Sandstorm frozen in place. Everything from the kitchen sink. Finally, they shut down Gebe. RSG Singapore once more, but won't be able to find more than just one. Dreams from the back. Sacred Hammer implosion. Flickers redirects it and finds the knockout with the Sacred Hammer, but the damage is not there just yet. Highs with the Blazing Duet takes down the Harif still at the end, and Highs gets away with Daylight Murder. Double kill for the Claude.
A beautiful play by Dreams right there. It looked like RSG was able to counter it because that Revitalize from closer actually healed up a lot, but then the Blazing Duet came in, and now Highs 303 on the Claude. We expressed doubts about this hero pick, and he is already proving us wrong. A 6K lead now for Alter Ego, and things are not looking good. In comparison, Alter Ego just scales way better into the late game.
Highs, how do you catch him, right? Look at closer. Oh my god, he's melting.
Wow, okay.
Cutting like hot knife through butter. Another implosion closer, he is gone. That's the Blazing Duet. Highs, untouched, uncontested. A knockout for the Eternal Guard. It's a killing spree for Roundel. Another full combo, follow up by the counter engage from Gear, but Highs is still a problem that needs to be addressed. They cannot get rid of him. And unfortunately, RSG Singapore have just ran out of life force. Alter Ego finds 3 kills.
It was a good Pritchett Glacier though. Yunsky basically saved rsgsg there. If he didn't catch like 3 or 4 members of Alter Ego in that and set up the stun into Gear's damage, then Alter Ego would have been able to pick off most of them while still remaining alive to push into that inhibitor and maybe even get the Lord. So for now, RSG are able to keep themselves in the game, but the gold is just snowballing out of control. We can see the level difference as well. Geve just reached level 15 before the 10-minute mark, while Yon is still level 10. We are looking at yet another one-sided game here, this time in favor of Alter Ego.
Yeah, it's a complete demolition. Yon just got the Queen's Wings, so extra durability, but that's the least of the problems. Somehow, even when you look at the damage leaderboard, we at least CS is up there somehow.
Somehow.
But I mean, still compared to Heist and Roundel, it's not even close. It's some 10,000 difference.
CS is basically the only thing that RSG can try to play for. We've already seen earlier with Shizo from Lazy Esports that a good Harrier can actually dish out a lot of DPS, and as long as he's not controlled, can just win a team fight for you on his own. But Alter Ego are pretty bulky at this stage, and they managed to stop CS from farming efficiently, so Heist is just the one in control just in terms of DPS output. And Alter Ego are making sure their opponents know it. The Lord hasn't even pushed up halfway yet, and they're already trying to siege down the inhibitors, taking away all of the holy defenses.
I mean, if the enemy claw is 4-0, sub 10 minutes, you know that the game has spiraled out of control. But at least this is just Lord number 1. See the conceal get used now by Dreams. Bottom inhibitor goes down. Implosion only on the 1. Good purify from CS. Turning around on the Dreams. Dreams goes down. Eternal Guard knocked out on the tree. But Heist! He's just shredding through them with the Blazing Duet. And once more, he gets out. But we got CS on this Harif. Just blew through Gabe's health bar. And CS, like you pointed out, is keeping the game alive. And unfortunately, Heist doesn't have the health bar to fight CS. And CS keeps on going. Roundel flickers to safety. RSG Singapore barely kept afloat by CS.
He just got his Holy Crystal from those pickoffs as well, so that's a very important item spike timing, but is it too little too late? Look at the base. Look at how Heist is just walking in, making them think he wants to try something funny here. We're nearing the 10k gold lead mark. The amount of turret damage that was inflicted just with that last Lord push. RSG Singapore has a lot of heroes that drop off the later the game goes. Alpha doesn't scale too well, Khalid doesn't scale too well, even Aurora doesn't really output that much DPS. So everything is on the shoulders of CS here. Whereas Alter Ego, they got so many different ways of setting up and dishing out the damage.
Not just that, right? I mean, even RSG Singapore, the way for them to turn this around is probably land some good counter engage combos that we've seen multiple times. Started by Yunsky, and then you got the follower from here and closer. But aside from that, really comes down to how much damage can CS deal. And even then, he has his limitations. The Zaman Force doesn't stay up forever. He has a limited mana pool. If anything, Alter Ego, they can just take this Lord and in the worst case scenario, not end the game, but get all inhibitors.
Yeah, at this point, getting that last inhibitor is basically guaranteed with the next Lord, right? It's going to be impossible for RSG to really defend it unless they're able to somehow catch members of Alter Ego off guard. The unfortunate thing is, Alter Ego has a very good teamfight combination. It's a very honest front to back, so their 5v5 is particularly strong. The way that you would want to deal with a 5v5 is try and split them up and then maybe pick them off one by one, but RSG doesn't really have a good pickoff composition either, so they're a little bit stuck. They have to try and beat out Alter Ego in their own game.
Unless you get some magical flicker freeze from Yunsky to start it off, risk might have to be taken. Top inhibitor down, flicker implosion. The counter engage shows up from rsgsg. CS needs to stay alive. It's him and the world. Nino is just gonna dance around. Unfortunately, AE just overwhelms the base and takes game 1.